Den här programserien spelades in när världen var lite av en annan. En värld där vi flög till USA, kramade främlingar och delade en burkläsk utan att någon höjde på ögonbrynet. Det här är en produktion från UR.
Alltså jag har verkligen noll att klaga på just nu. Jag sitter här, det är varmt, det är skönt, det är liksom... Jag är på ett ställe jag älskar. Så sitter jag och tänker liksom att jag är döende. Alltså bara för att jag ser ett blåmärke så får jag panik. Alltså nu har jag fått ett blåmärke på benet här. Jag känner så här, ja, det är min dödsdom.
Jag är rädd för typ allt. Döden, livet och vad folk ska tycka om mig. Under 8 avsnitt befinner jag mig i Los Angeles för att möta människor som är lite mindre vilsna än vad jag är. Kanske för att de till skillnad från mig har en stark tro på någonting. Du lyssnar på Preach, ett program om sökande med mig Linda Ulfhjelm. I det här avsnittet ska jag försöka släppa taget kring saker som är bortom min kontroll med hjälp av buddhisten Will.
Men vi måste ju få stå här, eller? Ja.
Jag går ur bilen i det trendiga området Fairfax. Det ligger typ mitt i smeten. Mellan West Hollywood och Beverly Hills typ. Jag står framför ett sandfärgat hus med gröna markiser. Jag är här för att träffa Will.
Han är buddhist. Det ska bli väldigt spännande. Jag tycker buddhister är spännande personer. De som, eller jag liksom... När jag tänker på en buddhist så känns de som en cool person. Eller så här lugn och bara så här... Jag har allt under kontroll. Allt löser sig. Det är liksom... Ja. Men de känns lugna. Och det är typ det jag behöver.
Will öppnar balkongdörren och gestikulerar att han kommer ner för att släppa in mig. Han har på sig en grå t-shirt med texten Never Give Up. Och under texten syns SGI's logga som är det buddhistiska samfund som Will tillhör.
Hey, how are you?
Good, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready to check this out?
Yeah, I
Yeah?
think I'm ready.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
I think so. I don't know what to expect, but I'm ready.
Vi går upp till rummet som Will hyr. Där uppe är även hans kompis Joy som tillhör samma buddhistiska rörelse som han. Hon har sovit över och jag kan liksom inte låta bli att undra om Will och Joy faktiskt dejtar. Men jag vågar såklart aldrig fråga. De har hur som helst ägnat morgonen åt chanting. Det innebär alltså att man sjunger eller upprepar en helig mening om och om igen. Och det kallas även mantra.
Then we can talk a little bit. So yeah, this is my friend Joyce.
Oh, hi Joy.
Hi.
Hi, Linda.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. Well, have a seat.
Oh,
Right here.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Joy är väldigt vacker, om jag får säga det själv. Med långa ögonfransar och mörklockigt hår uppsatt i en hög tofs. Hon håller i ett band med bruna träpärlor och har redan börjat med chantingen när vi kommer in. Joy måste strax åka till sitt servitrisjobb, men vill egentligen precis som Will bli skådespelare. Vi sätter oss ner på varsin rödmålad trästol som står vända mot ett litet altare med rökelse, ljus och en liten buddha-figur.
Yeah, I'll show you exactly.
Okay.
So this is go on, turn around real quick. We're chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Take this.
How do you pronounce
Yeah,
it?
so it's Nam
Nam.
N-A-M Myoho
Nam Myoho
Renge
Renge
Kyo.
Kyo.
Yeah, and we're gonna be chanting towards the scroll right here.
Okay.
It's not like a magical piece of paper or anything, but
No,
you know, but Buddhism is not about praising or worshiping a Buddha. You know, Buddhism really teaches that you're a Buddha or you're this infinite being.
Okay.
So when you're chanting, right, it's a prayer, but we're not begging or asking the universe for anything.
Okay.
You know, you're just making a decision, a determination for whatever it is that you want in your life. Like
okay.
zero judgment. You know, like what's your dream?
To be a musician?
A musician. Yeah.
Or an actress.
Or an actress. Or both.
Both?
Or both,
Probably,
yeah. Yeah, you can do both, or you
Yeah.
can do it all. So when you're chanting, you're able to well forth this kind of infinite potential that already,
Okay.
you know, exists within you. So I know this is new and kind of foreign to you, but, you know, you can chant decisively with your just eyes open,
Okay.
focused, all right? And we're gonna bring this forth and we'll chant for like a few minutes. slowly first, you know, so you can get it. All right, so
nervous.
yeah, don't be. It's okay. You're here. Nam myoho
it's like the
renge
pace.
kyo. Nam myoho renge kyo. So good.
Oh,
Yeah.
harmonies.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
yeah, we're singing.
Yeah. So we'll do like. Let me see. We'll start chanting like 3 times, like Nam myoho renge kyo 3 times, and then we'll do it like 3 times again.
Okay.
Nam myoho renge kyo. Nam myoho renge kyo. Nam myoho renge kyo.
Alltså, om jag ska vara helt ärlig så känner jag mig faktiskt rätt dum just nu. Både Will och Joy ser väldigt fokuserade ut. Nästan som att de typ tittar inåt. Men jag kan inte låta bli att titta runt i rummet och oroa mig för hur andra ser på mig just nu.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I knew there was a little.
I have a hard time concentrating,
Yeah.
focusing,
It's okay.
issues.
Nice to meet you all.
Oh,
Nice to meet
have
you
a
too.
I
good
gotta
time.
run so I don't get a ticket.
Yeah.
Bye. And you
Thank
can
you.
chant whenever you want. They have it in Sweden, like everywhere. Yeah, all over the world.
Wow.
Every time I've toured, I go to a Buddhist center.
Oh, wow.
So I hope you can start practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to
Bye.
meet you.
Anyone? Yeah, you too.
Yeah. Wow. Joy går ut från lägenheten och jag och Will sätter oss i en blommig soffa för att prata. Jag undrar vad orden vi precis chantade betyder. What does it mean? You know the
Yeah.
words.
Ultimately, it means you are absolutely awesome.
Okay.
When you're saying it, like you're pretty much saying I am absolutely awesome in the most absolute sense, right? Like,
Jag undrar om Will har någon strategi för att hantera oro eller som i mitt fall hypokondri. Jag visar Will mitt blåmärke på benet som jag oroade mig för i morse. I like think I'm gonna die and I have like
well, you will eventually.
I know that's the tough part.
Yeah. But we all will.
Yeah,
you know,
I know.
at some point.
I know.
You know?
And I can't control it. And
No.
that's I just wonder how you handle those kind of stuff and if your belief or you know the chant like helps you with like those kind of thoughts, or maybe you're not as anxious as I am.
I get very anxious too.
You
know?
do?
Yeah, for sure. I'm an actor.
Good.
And but you know, as I see some of my peers, you know, advance in their careers, what about like me? What's going on with like my life, and comparing myself to others, you know, to my peers, you know, like where they're advancing, you know, more than I am. Buddhism, a fundamental aspect of Buddhism is based on the laws of cause and effect. Whether you think you're doing something or not, you're constantly creating causes and simultaneously there's an effect, right, in some way or form. So based on that definition of cause and effect, would you agree or disagree that this moment right now, sitting in my living room, is a manifestation of every single cause you've ever made your entire life? Every action or non-action, word not word, thought not thought, has led to this moment.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but then
That was deep. Yeah.
But, so then is it?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
So then is it reasonable that your entire past then exists in this moment?
Huh?
Is it reasonable then that your entire past exists in this moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because of all
yeah.
the causes is led and manifested to this moment now.
Yeah.
Right. And then you know, Buddhism is really rooted in reason. You know, so I think it's also reasonable that your entire future exists in this moment. You know, a lot of people have fears from past experiences.
Yeah.
You know, anxiety about like, you know, based on the future.
Yeah.
Right. And those are realities, right? The past, present, and future, right? But the truth of it all is that they all exist in this moment. you know, right here and now, you know, so
Will säger att den här stunden är resultatet av alla val du gjort genom hela ditt liv. Och därför finns ditt förflutna, framtid och ditt nu i just det här ögonblicket. Det tog lite tid för mig att smälta den här förklaringen, kan jag säga. Man är ju så himla van att höra att ödet är något som bara händer. Man har tur eller otur typ. Men Will säger faktiskt precis tvärtom. Att alla mina val finns i det här ögonblicket och att det är jag som just nu bestämmer över min framtid. Det här blev ju väldigt rörigt, det hör jag ju själv. Ja. Men hur kom Will in på buddhism då?
I started my practice about 9.5 years ago when I first started on my journey as an actor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
5 years ago. How old are you?
I'm old enough. Yeah. I'm an actor. Come on.
Yeah.
No. Can't act an actor's age. Yeah, it's an actor's age, you know.
No, that's good. Should never reveal it.
No. But I've lived many lives, I feel, you know. Yeah, because like
Do you feel like you've lived before this life?
Oh, I meant like in this life. I lived many lives for sure.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. But you know, I have no real proof of it that I've lived, but I've felt I've been here before in many different ways.
You do?
Yeah, I feel it. I don't know it.
Även om Wills familj har rötter i Kina så är ingen av dem buddhister. Will gick under uppväxten i en katolsk skola som låg nära familjehemmet i området Queens, som ligger i New York. Det var först när Will började utbilda sig till skådis som en klasskompis introducerade honom för buddhismen. Will var tydligen först väldigt skeptisk till hela grejen. Han var orolig att tron skulle visa sig vara någon slags sekt typ. Men när han började med chanting så upplevde Will ganska direkt att det hjälpte honom att förändra saker han tidigare trodde låg utanför hans kontroll. Som den knepiga relationen Will hade till sin pappa.
The most impossible thing that I thought I would never be able to change was my relationship with my father. Right, and the family relationships are often the hardest, you know, to work with, right?
Yeah.
So
were you chanting and like thinking about that?
Yeah, so I was chanting, and you know, I had resigned that okay, this is my dad is who he is. I am who I am. I love my dad for, you know, for giving me life. You know, part of giving me life, but we'll just never get along.
Okay.
We're just two different people, you know, and we'll never agree on anything. But when I started this practice, I'm like, how sad is this that I can't have a real relationship with my father? Because we would get into these fights, you know, that started over a miscommunication, and there would be like these 6-7 hour fights eventually, verbal fights that ended up where we disown each other. And we were living in the same house.
Oh, no.
And for like months, you know, we would pass each other in the hallways, not talking to each other.
Really?
It was horrible. Until like my mother, like maybe like forced my dad to apologize or something.
I feel like he's a grown up, you know.
Yeah, but he's a
it's hard.
human. Yeah, he's
hard.
human. Yeah. When I started this practice, I started chanting, and I'm like, you know, started learning about laws of cause and effect, and then like, you know, I get into these things with my dad. I'm like, don't you understand the causes you're making right now? Like, and he's like, he would get even more upset, stop preaching to me and this and that. But over time, our fights got shorter and shorter and shorter, to the point where they just stopped. And
it just happened, you know, nothing changed like in your like family situation or your life, you know.
Yeah, no, I was like chanting
happened.
about it. Yeah, I was chanting.
Yeah,
all I did was chant about it. As a result, I may have become a better human. I don't know. Like, you know, I am not without responsibility for the problems I had with my father, you know.
Efter jag hört Will prata så kan jag liksom inte låta bli att känna att det där låter ju asbra på pappret. Men jag kan liksom inte fatta hur sjunga några rader faktiskt ska förändra mitt liv. It sounds great, you know, if it works for you, but I'm not sure how I can be able to apply it to myself, you know.
Well, it's very simple, right? So it's not something that happens overnight. You know, there's a lot of probably like negative conditioning that you have to break through. these false beliefs
Yeah.
about yourself, that also then reflect false beliefs about other people and humanity and, this
Yeah.
life, right? So, the great thing about this practice is that it's coming from you. Everything, you already have all of the answers, for your life. You already have everything.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of accessing it. You don't necessarily have to call yourself a Buddhist,
No.
right? Actually, I don't call myself a Buddhist.
You don't?
No, because mainly because of what people think Buddhism is, and it's like whatever. Did you think that this was what Buddhism is?
No.
Not at all, right?
No, not at all, actually.
Thought there
No.
might be some monks, there might be some, particular rituals.
Yeah.
Well, what makes this a religion is the faith aspect to it, right? So in other religions, there's faith in maybe a god or certain figures,
Yeah.
people. But in this practice, it's faith in what? It's faith in yourself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And,
I like that.
yeah, it's faith, absolute faith in you,
Yeah.
in who you are.
Faktaruta. Buddhism är på många sätt mer besläktad med en filosofi än med religion. Många upplever nog att buddhismen ställer fler frågor än vad den ger svar. Dessutom finns det färre pekpinnar än i andra religioner om hur du bäst bör leva ditt liv.
So I ordered a book about Buddhism and I read it.
Det är kanske därför som så många idag lockas av buddhismen. En annan anledning kan vara det Will sa om att buddhister inte har tilltro till en specifik gud.
To study Buddhism is to study ourselves.
Buddhism anses vara en perfekt religion för vårt mer individbaserade samhälle här i väst. Det ständigt växande antalet buddhistiska meditationscenter här i LA kan ses som ett stort bevis på det.
Hello, it's me, old Russ. People are always asking me, how do you meditate?
Slut på faktaruta. Ja, okej, men det här med mitt kontrollbehov då? Att ett blåmärke kan få mig att vilja åka in till akuten för att jag får panik av att inte veta vad som händer i mig och min kropp. Vad tänker Will kring det?
Why do you feel like you need to know everything? Or why do you feel like you need to control everything?
It's a good question. I've never really asked myself that. I just say that I'm a control freak and that's all I am. I never really questioned why I am like that. Why I need to control everything. I just feel like...
I mean, that's something, if you don't have to answer that now, of course, because that might be something like,
it's a good question because I've never really thought of why I'm like that. But
it's worth exploring.
I think it was Tinder.
No.
Always.
Always.
Always present. 1, 2, 3. 3.
Jag träffar min kompis och min typ andliga guide Kashi. Vi ses på en strand i Malibu som ligger nästan en timme bort från LA.
The left is not collaborating.
1, 2,
2, 3.
punch, and then I have to do it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So
Then
1, 2, 3, and then you punch 1, 2, 3,
3.
and then
Oh,
you do
yeah,
it.
okay.
1, 2.
2, 3, punch.
Han visar mig kampsporten som man brukar träna på fritiden. Man håller i 2 pinnar som man slår mot varann. Sporten hjälper i alla fall Kashi att hitta ett lugn och vara närvarande i nuet. Och han använder sig av den när han måste släppa kontrollen för att han bara kan fokusera på de 2 pinnarna som slås mot varann. Vi sätter oss ner i sanden och jag berättar för Kashi om min dag.
I met this Will guy. No, but it was really interesting actually because I didn't know much about Buddhism at all. I thought I knew. I was like, okay, it's a Buddha. You like pray to him. I thought it was like a god or something, and he was like, no, it's more about yourself and that you like talk or like chant to your better self, to the best you can be, you know.
Yeah.
And that was new for me. Jag tycker verkligen att alla jag träffar på den här resan har berikat mig asmycket. Jag har liksom fått helt nya perspektiv på min tillvaro. Men trots det är det svårt för mig att köpa en hel religion bara sådär. Jag undrar vad Kashi tänker om det.
I like that you're kind of getting close and you're kind of figuring out what you like, what you don't like, and that's what it's about. It's more of like at the end of the day, it's what works for you. Because, you know,
I think I'm gonna take like pieces from different and create my own
create your
own religion or something. No, because it's not like I felt after today like I'm a Buddhist. Because it was not like that. It's just like I take with me small. It was just very refreshing to hear someone like speaking. It felt weird for me to chant, but that's probably because I'm not used to it. It's not. It's very foreign. But I felt like all the things he said was very helpful. Like, you're good. You're perfect. You know, you could hear. It was nice to hear stuff like that.
That's great. You know that like. Just taking pieces from everything that you like. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not like you have to fully dedicate your life to one thing. It's more of like you're more open-minded than the average person.
I tried to be open-minded, and when and I felt bad when I was gonna chant with them too, because I felt like I almost started laughing because I saw myself from an outer perspective. I'm like, what the hell am I doing?
All those feelings are totally normal, especially when you come from a background of like just not doing stuff like that, and you can't. It's hard to kind of compare it to something because you're like, what do you compare it to? Like, it's not like you grew up being in like the Catholic Church.
No.
And you're like, oh, it's kind of similar in the sense like, no, nothing. So it's like
nothing. It's just nothing.
Yeah.
So everything is just like.
But the fact that you're taking the time to actually do it is what matters.
Yeah.
Like.
I've just come to realize that, like, the meetings or like to meet with all the people that I met, it's just gives me, it's like I take something with me every day, you know.
Du har just hört Preach med Linda Ulfhjelm av Nanna Olasdotter Hallberg, Daniel Persson Mora, Ludvig Widman, Tove Jonstoy, Karin Winter och Martina Magorin Borg. Det här var ett program från UR. Du hittar fler på UR Play.